Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And right away he lost the football. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA, and now a great career. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Diggs with a good footwork. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 2nd down, Cousins. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Jaron Reed busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jaron Reed in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Wilson on second down. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
19.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Linval Joseph in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable here from the 38. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
A gain of 32 that time.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
He's got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
On second down, Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, here's Cousins. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing is Wilson. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play. And facing a 2nd and long. Now the rookie first-rounder from San Diego State, it's Rashad Penny. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Emerson Griffin in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Taking it about the 36. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. The point after is good, and the lead grows to 10-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
The Seahawks on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wilson on first down. Room to run past midfield. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Penny, the first down carry. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Let's go get it right here. Come on. Four down. Cut. Lady. Cut.
On 2nd down, Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. On first down, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. And a great return as he takes this up just shy of the 45. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Cousins on first down. The left side caught by Diggs. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives them a new set of downs.
All right, now here we go.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Second and goal from inside the 5. They get it to him running left. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The best name in the NFL, Barkevious Mingo. And that'll bring up fourth down. And his kick is indeed good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Over the middle. It's incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that'll bring up second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. On second down, here's Penny. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. On second down, here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Completes it to Dixon. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson now throwing again. And Dixon over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
95.
They run it with Carson. And he'll get this up to about the 40. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. To throw is Wilson. To throw on 2nd down. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He's going to lock one, deep left side. But it's caught at the 10. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left.
Tempo.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. J.D. McKissick in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the lead is down to 4. To kick is Janikowski. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On first down, Murray. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun. Cousins throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 9 yards on the play and a 1st down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
But that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. First down. Here's Cousins. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Lucky 48.
Here's Cousins. His throw caught at about the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. Now they'll run. Murray. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll give it to him up the middle. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal.
But a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't it?
To credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Kirk Cousins, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A handoff to Penny. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. There he goes inside the 30. Nice stiff arm. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Out to kick is Janikowski. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. First play of the drive, going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Again, this is Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And Justin Coleman brings him down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Cousins to throw it. And his pass incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And now it's second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to run on first down? The offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
He finds Malcolm Mitchell here. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Cousins now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. Back to the ground, Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now Cousins. That is incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27.
W14.
Here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's Wilson to throw. And Dixon has it. And now a fumble. The ball's out. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The pitch goes to Penny. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now Wilson on second down. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. from Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Now it's Carson, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Full play time, guys. Let's go. Gun.
To throw on 2nd down. Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Davis. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Penny will try to punch it in, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Tyler Lockett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that gives them a 3-point lead. Out to kick is Janikowski. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 2nd down, Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota 1st. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick. He's been decisive. And he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Going deep for Diggs. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They pitch it out to Cook, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Let's go.
From the gun, here's Cousins. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Hey, Mulaney!
On first down, Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll toss it to Petty. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll try and run for it with Petty. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
He'll look to throw. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeout.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
This is Carson. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Mike Hughes with his first pick in the league. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Minnesota, the win is their 5th of the year as they move to 5-8. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.